Hi, I'm Katie. This is your daily tarot for November 30th. We had a lunar eclipse early this morning, and it's so interesting because as I was shuffling the cards, one of the cards that popped up today for the reading actually revealed itself a few times, and I was like, I wonder if this is going to pop up in the reading, and of course it did. So here we go. Lunar eclipses, if you don't know, is when the Earth is actually in between the moon and the sun. And so we actually see a shadow of the Earth over the moon. And so we see that through the evening. And in times of eclipses, there are usually times of great change and great shifts because we see that shadow aspect of ourself and things are revealed. And as you know, things are usually revealed under the light of the full moon, it has that additional energy of having the shadow to it, because the energetic of being able to see our shadow, while there is some negative connotations to that, it's really powerful. I do like to remind people that, for instance, I'll make dream catchers and hang them, and their shadows on the wall is actually quite brilliant and beautiful and captivating. And so seeing our shadows can be that way if we see it in a place of mystery and with a sense of detachment and just observation. And in that place, we can witness ourselves and, really put our energy towards the changes that we see are necessary. And we are coming upon big changes, not only with ourselves personally, but also on a global scale as Saturn and Jupiter transit out of Capricorn and into Aquarius in late December. So our cards for today, we have 3 cards for today. The first card that we actually had for today was the Knight of Wands. And so wands are associated with fire energy, which is like get up, go. It is time. It's a time of action. Move. Move. There's no more hesitation. And you see that the knight, or the horse rather, in this card has all of their hooves up in the air, and that, or the first 2 rather, that's because they are charging. They're like getting ready to move into something. They're in an energetic of, pushing forward and moving forward. And so the Knight of Wands is telling us there's no more time for hesitation. It's time to act, and to act now. And coincidentally enough, what's so interesting is the second card that we have is that card I was telling you that came up in shuffling a few times. The High Priestess. Doesn't surprise me that she showed up today because she is associated with the moon, and we just are now having a full moon and a lunar eclipse. Tarot is pretty interesting that way, how things show up. And why this is so interesting that shows up is because it kind of feels like the opposite energy of this energy. This is an energy of action, go, go, go. And this is an energy of waiting. It's telling us that you don't need to necessarily go out and make things happen, that things will be revealed in time. And so I feel like there's some, of course we do need to take actions today, and yet there is also something that we're sitting in between in trying to decide our emotional stance on something. That's why she's sitting in between 2 pillars, the black and white pillar, because she's measuring things, she's contemplating things. And the energy of this card is that things will be revealed. During times of full moons and new moons, the moon is in alignment with the earth and the sun, so we have the greatest ebbs and flows, like highs and lows of tides, because of that magnetic pull is literally in alignment, and it affects us too. But not only do we see things be revealed by the reflection of the sun in the moon's light, like in the evening we can actually see around us when it's a time of a full moon, where you can't do that in the time of a new moon. But there's also interesting things that happen with the tides, in that with that high peaking, growing energy of water, it covers a lot of things, and it brings a lot of things like up to the surface. And then when it drops down, when the tides drop down, it reveals everything that's underneath the surface. And so in that energetic of that ebb and flow of the water around our actual oceans, we have to remember that humans are actually made up of a great percentage of water as well, coincidentally enough, around the same amount as our globe. So those energetics affect us as well. And so we're seeing parts of our nature that are being revealed, and that is going to be revealed in time. There's not it's not like you can go and read a book about how to reveal this in yourself. It's something that you're going to be seeing and witnessing by your own light, and how that is reflected by the situations and your emotional stance and nature. Now, the third card that we have for today is the Two of Pentacles. And this is a person who has a place of harmony in the midst of chaos. Now, if you look behind them, there is this rising water, right? It's like the rising water that happens in those high tides. And boats are riding that wave. And a lot of us are riding that wave. A lot of us have those storms happening in our life. And, it's key to remember that when storms are happening, you don't necessarily like anchor. In a whirlpool, you tie your sails and you catch that wind, and you take that wind in the direction that you are targeted and focused on looking and where you want to create. So this person, despite all this chaos that's happening around them, has harmony in the midst of it, because they are balancing what is important to them within that chaos. They're making sure that they take practical steps and put time and energy towards those things that are ultimately going to bring them the most benefit, both financially and physically, and in a spiritual sense too, because pentacles are associated with not only our financial situation and our material things that we value, but also other beliefs that we value as well. So having an anchor in your belief system, having an anchor in your daily habits and how you go about your day is going to help you in the midst of the change that is happening right now in all of our lives. So those are the readings. Those are the cards for today. I send you such a good wish. I appreciate you checking in and being with me right here in this moment. I know I haven't put up a lot of readings lately. I have a lot of change happening in my life too, but I will make an effort to do them more often, because I've had people reach out to me and ask me where I went. So here I am, and I send you love, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.